The Gameday Broadcast Network is proud to present high school football. This exclusive broadcast is being powered by Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. Get back in the game of life, the game on the field. Manhattan Pizza, now serving Ashburn, South Riding, and Leesburg with the best dang pizza in the world. By Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. Max Muscle, partners in health. By Online Mental Trainer, Optimal Thinking, Champion Results. Visit ReadWriteTechnology.com. Verizon Wireless, the exclusive wireless network of the Gameday Broadcast Network. Gameday All Access. Become a Gameday MVP member today and never miss another big game. Phenom Strength and Conditioning, where athletes train to exceed expectations. Now, let's join the broadcast crew live and worldwide on the Gameday Broadcast Network.
As always, you can tune in every Friday night. Enjoy the action live. We have some great games coming up for you here this Friday. You can always come back and watch the replays as well. All right, time now for our Game Day mailbag. And the Game Day Nation has been voicing their opinions. We could only grab 6 questions here today, but we've had a ton of people tweeting at us, yelling at Bruce and I, yelling at me for not picking Westfield last week, Bruce for just calling people names. We welcome in Amanda Hewlett-Camp, who is in charge of pulling in all the content and picking out the best questions. Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Can't complain. You know, Bruce and I are still here after all the, the bad comments out there for our choices last week.
I was one of the ones yelling at you for picking Chantilly.
I know.
Yeah.
I could tell that. All right, well, we've got some good ones, so let's dive right into it.
The first one is from Centerville High School Wildcats, and they ask, how do you see the Concord working out over the final 4 weeks, and how would you rank the 6 teams so far? And do you see the Concord district like the SEC?
Hold the phone. I'm throwing a penalty flag on this one. This guy's got 3 questions in the same sentence or in the same
his money's worth.
No. You're taking the time away from everybody else. Aren't you supposed to be doing homework or something like that? You crawl out from underneath the rock and go to class once in a while instead of coming up with these questions.
Why do you have to criticize everybody that writes a question in here?
How do you see the Concord district working out? I don't know. You got a crystal ball in front of me? I got a Westfield helmet. I don't know. Wait a minute. Let's find out here. Concord district. Oh, Jeannie, what's the Concord district going to do? I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be a dogfight. That's all I know. It's going to be a dogfight from here out. Don't miss it. We underestimated this Concord district at the beginning of the season. And this stuff about the SEC,
well,
do you see the Concord district like the SEC?
Yeah, it's good every week.
Dude.
It's good every week. There's not a bad game every week.
You know what's good every week?
What's that?
McFlurries. Did we get all hyped up about that?
Bruce, you go to McDonald's, seriously? You go to McDonald's?
We should have it right, McFlurry or Frosty.
Yeah, that could be our next debate. I'll tell you how the Concord's going to work out. The team
right
that
there.
Westfield, is going to play at home next week is Oakton, and they've already beaten Chantilly, and they've already beaten Robinson, and then they have Centerville at home. So Westfield's going to win the Concord district. That's how it's going to play out. The race is for number 2. That's my opinion. So right now, Oakton, Chantilly, Robinson, and Centerville all fighting for that spot. So there you go. Good question. And is it the SEC of Virginia football? Yeah, it is, because there's no weak link right now. Herndon's not great. They're going to get. I'm sorry, Amanda. I know you go to Herndon, but they're going to get better under Coach Day, and then it's back to 6 teams that can get after it every week.
Yeah. Our next one is from @TrueFlowJ. Who do you think Briar Woods' biggest competition is this year? Do you think they'll make it to states again?
Their biggest competition is themselves. I mean, they don't have a rival in Division 4. That's just my personal opinion. They don't have a team that is waiting for them. Now, that said, there's always an Amherst that shows its head late in the year for these guys that they're going to have to get by. And you never know, Bruce. Maybe there is that team. But I think Briar Woods is head above heels above everybody else. I mean, and I just don't see them getting tested. I think they win another state title.
Sooner or later, Salem's going to come rolling around again. But if you want to talk about tested locally, they haven't played Loudoun County yet. So I don't see either. But you want to talk about a local test, that may be it. Will Briar Woods go to states again? I think they will. It's not as clear-cut in the rest of the state that we've seen. The one constant over the past 3 years has been Briar Woods. Been different opponents along the way, not like when Broad Run went back-to-back against Amherst.
Yeah, their biggest opponent, their biggest threat is themselves and not playing their best game. When they show up and play, they're not going to lose a game. I mean, they can probably beat anybody on any level. I think that's how good they are if they play their A game. So, good question, though. Great question.
Our next one's from Chris Barassa. 4th and goal on the second. You need a touchdown to win.
Chris Barassa is asking us questions.
I know.
His Twitter handle is BoringAssa. Is that what his Twitter handle is? Can we say that on TV?
It's Bo Ring.
It's Bo Ring.
Bo Ring.
Okay. His question is what?
Whose hands do you put the ball in?
Okay, so 4th and goal on the 2, and you need a touchdown to win. Who are you putting the ball in the hands of? Who is it?
Can we get a shot of that picture right there behind you up on the wall?
Bruce, we don't have live camera people. They're stationary cameras. You can tell that, right?
Right there.
You're putting Brian Earl.
I'm putting a Brian Earl.
He doesn't play anymore.
Oh, you want me to go now?
Yes.
I think I'll go now, right now. I would take John Allen with some stickum and put him in the backfield. Now, if you want a true offensive player, Corey Holder, Briar Woods, will get it done from the 2 for anybody against anybody else.
You can't say anybody but Joe, the touchdown maker, Wilson. He's got more touchdowns than anybody in the whole market. That's who you put the ball in the hands of.
Corey Holder, 6.
I will tell you this. I walked away from the Westfield game against Chantilly looking at 2 guys, and I thought that as a running back, I thought they're the real deal. Ross Sims, number 1, I think is spectacular. He's the toughest runner in between the tackles I've seen all year. Secondly, I think Tyler Thrasher Walker is going to be the next great one in this market. He reminds me so much of Evan Royster. It's scary. He's 6'3". He can run like the wind. I'm telling you, this guy is superstar in the making. Look out. He's going to light this whole area on fire. So there you go. A couple of them. Good question, Chris. Quit chewing up our Twitter time.
That is a decent question.
It is a good question.
That's a good question.
It is a good question. Don't call him out.
I'm not gonna
he
say
likes to
anything.
play with us here on the show. Go ahead.
All right, this next one's for you. From Karen S_94. Has the dog pound proven to you that it's the best?
Yes. Okay, I said for them to tune in this week, and I want to tell you something, Dog Pound. You were my new favorite. They brought it. They brought it, Bruce. You know, we keep talking about Chantilly, and let me tell you something. I thought Chantilly was great, too. You know, the Westfield kids saying, no, they were weak. No, they weren't weak. They brought their A game, too. They were awesome as well. But let me tell you why the Dog Pound won the Spirit Battle last week. Because they had more kids in the stands than Chantilly did. Mm-hmm. How does that happen, Chantilly? You can't let that happen. I mean, you have to. You should be overflowing on your side of the field that you start taking up the visiting stands. It's your school. You can't let Westfield bring more students to the game. That's not possible. That's why Westfield won the Spirit Battle. And then there's one other little key note here. At the end of the game, I learned that the Andy on the Stick poster was given away by the Chantilly fans to somebody within our staff. Matter of fact, our own camera guy has it. They gave it away. What's that all about? That hurt right there. Westfield, you're my new favorite. You're the new number 1 in the marketplace. Now, I've shown you some love. You show A. some love. There you go. There you go. How about that? Let's get a little personal over here.
Oh, my goodness. Our last one's from Michael Boyles 1. If you had to pick 2 teams out of all the teams in the area to play each other in a best of Northern Virginia game, who would it be?
This is a good one right here. This is a great question.
It's
Michael.
easy.
Well, it's not easy.
No, it is. It is.
It's easy for you because you're a live guy.
No. We're talking about the best game, the best matchup. We're not necessarily, I'm not reading this question as who are the 2 best teams to see the best of Northern Virginia. And it's the game that we haven't seen yet. It's Stonebridge, Briar Woods. That's the game on the horizon that you want. We've seen Stonebridge, Westfield. We've seen Westfield, Chantilly. We've seen Lake Braddock, Robinson. We've seen Broad Run, Stonebridge. We've seen Broad Run, Briar Woods. We haven't seen Stonebridge, Briar Woods.
I mean, could you imagine the pageantry for that game? I mean, as good as Briar Woods is, and the whole knock on them is that they've got Division 5 numbers and they're playing down in Division 4, right? Well, all that gets fixed next year, and they'll be in Division 5. Right alongside Broad Run and Stonebridge, and they'll be in the regions or the conference, however it's all going to work out. Could you imagine the crowd with a 10-0, 11-0, 13-0 Briar Woods team facing a 13-0 Stonebridge team in Division 5? Wow. And let me tell you something. There's no easy pick in that game. I mean, I tend to think that Stonebridge would be the early pick in that one because of guys like Jonathan Allen. Then you go right across the way and go, well, we got Matt Rowland. He's going to South Carolina. Well, we got Ryan Burks. Oh, yeah, by the way, we got Trace McSorley. Oh, Corey Colder. Oh, yeah, Rasan Goldring. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Match them up, and they know each other.
Holy moly!
There's no intimidation in that game.
None. And I'll say this. This is, to me, that would be the game I want to see too. Because Michael, here's the bottom line. And you probably don't know this because you may not be from Ashburn, but back in the day in Loudoun County, when we first started, there was Mickey Thompson, and then there was the guy who took over for Mickey Thompson, Charlie Pierce at Parkview. And before Gameday got into Fairfax County, these two guys wanted to beat each other so badly. And they pretended like they liked each other, and they still pretend all that, but they want to beat each other. I'm telling you right now, there'd be so many storylines behind the storylines going on. That's what would make that game fun for us. Now, if we weren't talking Loudoun schools, I'd go Stonebridge Westfield this year based on how good both of them are. I'd love to see if Stonebridge could stop Westfield's run game with their two tailbacks, because I don't know if they could. But I don't know Westfield could run on them either. I mean, their offensive line is awesome, but Jonathan Allen and that crew, man, they're tough. So I'd like to see that game. There's my answer, but Briar Woods, Stonebridge. Wow. You know what? Hey, Mickey and Charlie, let's just do this. Secretly, let's just plan after the season's over, the Saturday after it's all over, let's just all go out there and just lace it up and see what happens. We won't televise it. We'll just all go watch.
January 1st, baby. Super secret game.
Let's do it. You know, when the state championships are the 8th of December, 10th, you know, the 15th, 16th, let's do it.
Give them a week. Give them a week later.
Whole area would come to that game. Can you imagine the crowd?
You want a fundraiser?
Oh my gosh, man, it'd be awesome. It's a great question, though. Question of the week by far. And Michael Boyles, you're going to get a free 3-day pass to game day just for that great question. Is that all we have? Is that everything?
That's it.
Unbelievable. Game Day Nation. That's great questions this week.
Those are some good questions.
Thank you so much for sending them in. As always, you can do so by tweeting us at GBN Mobile, and Amanda will catch them up and get them ready for us on our next show. And we also have some great ones that have already come in for next week's episode. So we thank you on that. And Amanda, nice job.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Visit the Gameday Broadcast Network on Facebook to receive expanded coverage of high school sports in Northern Virginia. Facebook.com/Gameday Broadcast. And follow Gameday on Twitter. Visit Twitter.com/GBN Mobile and follow your favorite team with Gameday's exclusive television shows online at GameDayMagazine.com. Join the network today and make Gameday your home online.
Hey, Hayes. High school football's back. Who's going to be the best team in Ashburn?
I don't know, Carl. I'm not touching that one either, buddy. That's highly controversial right now.
Hey, didn't you win a Picks of the Week last year?
Yeah, that's accurate, Carl. Hey, it's hard to be a champion. I'm working hard in the offseason here to repeat this fall.
Hey, I heard a rumor that your producer, Helene, is the one that wins that every year.
You know what they say about rumors, Carl? Only some of them are true.
So what's it going to take, Hayes, for you to defend your championship?
Well, the thing is, Carl, only a select few have what it takes to be a champion, and the knowledge of how they get to that point is highly proprietary. I can't share that with you.
Yeah, whatever.
High school football fans, don't miss Game Day All Access each week online at GameDayMagazine.com. Dive into the area's best storylines and break down the biggest games to get you ready for the Friday night lights. Game Day All Access, weekdays online at GameDayMagazine.com. There's only one Game Day.
4G LTE has the fastest speeds. So let's talk about coverage. Based on this chart, who would you choose?
Wow.
Just take a minute.
Verizon, hands down.
I'm going to show you guys another chart.
Pretty obvious.
I don't think color matters.
Pretty obvious. What's pretty obvious about it?
Verizon has the coverage.
Verizon.
Verizon.
We're going to go to another chart.
It doesn't really matter how you present it.
I tell you what,
It doesn't matter how you present it. Verizon. More 4G LTE coverage than all other networks combined.